Welcome back to another father and daughter conversation. I'm really excited about today's topic. We're going to be talking about knowing thyself. We were talking about this conversation before we even got on camera, and he was just like, let's push play. So we're just going to jump into it.
That part.
Right. So knowing thyself. In a time of my life, I remember there was times where I struggled with not fitting in. I struggled with people rejecting me or not wanting to be friends with me or not wanting to be in a relationship with me. Just certain things where I just felt like I was always like an outcast or something. You know, people sometimes will make me feel like, you know, I work too much, or I really like school, or she always busy, or she thinks she all of that. And I'm like, even if I did think I was all that, it's okay for me to think that I'm all that, because if nobody else think that, then at least I think that, right? Like, I'm supposed to feel that way about me, right? But at the end of the day, I noticed that the more that I started to stick to my core values, my belief systems, the more that I started to work on myself, I started to notice that I am a great person. You know, I do great things. And I will continue to do those things. And the more that I started to work on myself and provide myself these affirmations, I started to notice that a lot of the external validation I was looking for from the world, I no longer look for it. So it's like, if a person doesn't want to hang out with me, cool. If I'm not this person's cup of tea, cool. If this person doesn't like me, cool, you know? And it took me a long time to get to that place. I don't know if y'all ever felt that way, but I know there's times in my life where I kind of felt like I was just trying to fit in any way that I could. And the more that I started to operate out of my core, you know, I was messing up, because the way that the things that I thought about affected my attitude. The things that affected my attitude affected my feelings, and the things that I was feeling impacted my behavior. And when I was moving in a different way in life and not operating within myself, I always ran into a wall. But every time I stayed true to myself, it seemed like things always work out, because I don't have to be nobody else but me. So that's what I know about knowing myself. But I also know it's not easy, and it's a practice. It's not something I'm going to learn overnight. But I'm learning the benefits of knowing yourself and staying true to who you are.
And I do understand that fully, because even at this stage of my life, just by me knowing myself, everything that I feel, what I'm capable of, and understanding there's going to be struggles along the way, it allows me to be consistent at who I am. Because I feel like since I've been home, where I'm a totally different person, and I know that. I'm not the same person I was when I left the street at 16 years old. But I think that people, when it comes to the people in my past, when it comes to people in my family, that the level of sacrifices that I've been willing to make is to keep me on track with the vision I had when I came home. So sometimes to people, it may feel like, oh, he don't care, or he just don't want to be around, or he different, or even he's weird, right? Yeah. People feel that way, but I hear the talks. But I'm okay with that, because I know me. I love me today. Back then, I didn't love me because I didn't know how to love me, right? So just always understanding that living life is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Me understanding that everybody is not going to like the way you move.
Yeah.
Right? But as long as I know me, understanding my anxiety, my feelings, and when I can't deal with certain situation and how to take myself out of it, so I can stay focused on my life. And I know my life today, it consists of hanging around people that understands me. But I also keep an open mind in my life, and I'm also always putting myself in a position to learn something new.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I always say to myself, I apply common sense and logic.
Yeah.
Common sense. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, and I think just for people who are struggling with understanding the concept of it, I think that when you know that you're operating outside of your core, is like sometimes when you don't know your purpose, your passion, why you here, you want to spend every day of your life trying to figure that out. Because you need some type of alignment that connects you to your belief system, your values, your attitude. You need some form of alignment, because if not, you'll be out here trying to be like everybody else. You'll be out here trying to mimic a whole nother version, or talk like somebody else, dress like somebody else. You'll start a business and feel like I got to do what this person is doing, but you forgetting that all of the things that you need is already inside of you. But if you don't know you, you're going to always operate outside of that. And being in that space is very vulnerable, or what you call vulnerable, whatever way that people say it. It's just, that's when I know that when I'm not operating within my core, is when I'm doing things that's not something I normally do, right? So if I care about my body, I'm not about to be out here popping pills. If I'm a business owner, I'm not about to be driving drunk because I know I got people to take care of. It's just that when you know yourself and you here for a reason and you moving in that way, like you here to do what you need to do on this earth, you will notice that you won't, a lot of distractions. You might be weak to certain things because we all not perfect, right? But you will be moving different. You'll be talking different. Your habits will be different. Your attitude will be different. The way you think will be different. And that's just going to impact everything else. And so when you notice that you're doing that, like, oh, I'm partying too much, I'm not really focusing on my dream, or I'm letting this person get to me and letting them bring me down. Why? You know who you are. Nobody should know who you are more than you know who you are. And so that's the reason why we had the conversation, because I just feel like a lot of us, especially if you come from a culture of black people, we lost a lot of our history.
Yeah.
You know, we lost a lot of that. So a lot of us are not connected the way that we should. So we have to do the extra self-development work. We have to do the healing. We have to eat better. We got to do better so that we can be able to get back to who we really are, because we don't really know. And so I'm not saying this to you like I got it all together, but I am that person that's doing the work and being aware of my surroundings and being aware of how I'm moving to make sure I check myself when I'm not operating within myself. So yeah,
it's a passionate conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I have developed is this thing they call coping skills. So coping skills is all I do is just to make sure that I make the right decisions under pressure,
mm-hmm.
and understand that in life that you have to learn how to function being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what growth is about.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about this thing, because I always say let's talk about it because that's my new thing. Because I'm putting myself out there to talk about it and be vulnerable in this space, and understand that I don't have all the answers, but I know that we all affected by trauma, and a lot of times we don't allow our trauma to be addressed, and then it don't allow us to grow and
mm-hmm.
believe in who we are as a person.
Yeah.
So everyday people out there, mental health in the hood, we here for the duration, and we want to talk about these things because this have impacted our lives in many ways.
Yes. So please stay tuned. Make sure y'all subscribe. We need y'all to like. We need y'all to comment, because that's the only way we're able to keep this platform alive. We appreciate you, and stay tuned.
Mental health in the hood.